Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for day 3 of the Vancouver Sevens. This matchup, it is going to be for a position in the 5th place final, and it is Fiji taking on the USA. Now, we do already know that on the other side of this 5th place final, it will be New Zealand just getting themselves the victory over Great Britain. But these two sides, they've had their ups and their downs of this competition, and now one of them will get to play one more game. That will be taking place this afternoon, New Zealand time. Looking through at the Fijian lineup, it will be Dalgunu, Bathetharinga, Logan Masi, Nathunu, Ioane Teba, Maisa Moa, and Bukayaro. So deciding to go without Jerry Tuwai in the starting lineup for the Fijians. Then for the USA, it will be Steve, Thomasine, Diamore, Cummings, also Foa La'au. I always mess up his name. Talapusi, David Still, and Isdale, last man in the USA starting lineup. Now, I should mention the semi-finals are not too far away either. And it's interesting because in the top 6 of the World Series at the moment, in fact, we'll say top 5, only one of those sides have made it through to the semi-finals, and that is Argentina. All the big sides, such as New Zealand, who are sitting in first, Fiji, Samoa, South Africa, all not actually a part of the semi-final in Vancouver. So it is wide open for someone to get themselves some very high points, but it's nicely taken by Bukayaro for the Fijians to get us underway. This first match that we are covering of the day, and it was a nice bit of work from Isdale, pushing Logan Masi into touch, and now the USA will have themselves the line out from inside of Fijian territory. We have got there, go Fiji, go, and Fiji, go, 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 says Sairo there, and Vidiana is going for Fiji all the way in this matchup. Yeah, Fiji very unlucky in their game up against Argentina. They worked well to get back into the contest, and then just that little last hurdle, and Marcos Maneta, I think, is the main reason they weren't able to go through to the next stage. Now, Isdale breaking, trying to get over the line. He was just short, though. USA with the bounce pass. It's going to be a drop ball picked up by the Fijians, but I believe they will be going back for the original offside penalty. 5 meters out from the line. Fawala, of course, the guy whose name I can't say, Fuala'au will score the try, and that is the man for the USA, I should mention. Go Fiji, says Esther in there as well. That is going to be the first try of the match. The USA team who are able to score it, and Fuala'au, the man who does get the first try. And hey there, Kiwi lads, from a rainy, cold, wintry weather, Cape Town, 11 p.m. Late match for us, Fiji to win, says Roof. And I should mention that South Africa, they are going to be playing a little bit later on. They'll be taking on the Japanese in the 14th place playoff match, or in fact, 13th and 14th place playoff. So a lot lower than the South Africans would have liked to finish in this competition. But then the same can be said about the Samoans, who are playing off for 9th. Fiji, if they win this game, if they win it, they will be going through to playoff for 5th. And win 5th place is Ether there as well. Nice take from Logan Masi, just outside of their own 22 again, Fiji here. Now, last time they were here, they did get forced into touch and gave up the possession, but Bukayaro, not a huge amount of minutes throughout the Sevens competition, and I'm wondering why, because he's just set up Nathunu for a certain try, unless he gets caught, finds the pass on the inside to Filippo Bukayaro, and he will score the try there. Filippo Bukayaro, they've been hiding him, keeping him on the bench for pretty much every single match. And now Filippo Bukayaro will score a nice, easy try between the sticks, or at least he made it look easy. It was in no means that way, though. David Still was flying at him to be able to almost cut him off. And come on, Fiji. There's Esther there as well. And they have been able to score their first try of the match, making the score now equal at 7 points to 7 after the successful conversion. Good effort, though, from David Still for the USA to try and chase him down there. That wouldn't have been too easy at all. First game of the day for both of these sides, so they'll still feel relatively fresh, but it's been a tough 3-day tournament for a majority of these sides. Remembering USA, they started off this competition with a 52-0 loss to the New Zealanders. And then from there, somehow were able to fire back, got themselves the win over Samoa. Could have lost to Spain, but ended up drawing, which actually stopped the Samoans from making it further in the competition. Then have got themselves a couple wins in a row since then. And go Fiji, go, says Atanesh. And New Zealand certainly surprised Samoa. South Africa, very disappointing, Hamish, says the Ruth. We kicked off long. Steve Thomasina should have mentioned that the USA found themselves losing to Ireland in their quarterfinal fixture. That one was 15 points to 10 now. Fuala'au goes on the outside to Cummings. He's going to try and step on the inside. Wrestled down, and that looked like a Fijian penalty in the breakdown. It certainly was. Nice work from Batitaringa. Looks like Fiji considering taking the quick tap here. Already 4 minutes through this matchup. And go Fiji go, says Etanesh. And here's Fiji more, says Viniana. So Bukayaro has been told by Nathunu, I will be taking the quick tap. No, in fact, they're going to kick this one for touch. It's actually a tactic we've hardly seen from Fiji. And we've just seen why, because that one hasn't found touch and it's just gone dead. So next time, I'm pretty sure they will end up just taking on the nice, easy tap. And, bro, it is 8:35, says Ether there. So whereabouts are you, Ether? Are you in Fiji? So I know that there was a while when New Zealand and Fiji were on the same time zones, but we're currently 9:35 a.m. Maybe not. The USA are quite strong. Fiji, very, very physical. Go on, Fiji, do it. Says the Roof there. Now it is going to be the scrum feed for the USA, 40 meters out from their line. And yep. Okay, so the final, which Fiji won't be a part of, but if they make it through to the 5th place final, I believe, I'll just have a quick look, see the exact time that it is going to be taking place, but I believe it's at about 11, or actually it might be a little bit later than 11. It is going to be 12:41 New Zealand time, so that will be 11:41 Fiji time for the 5th place final if the Fijians win this contest. Penalty goes the way of the USA again. That time, my Samoa, the man who gives away the high tackle penalty, he ends up dropping lower and then rising up. Probably lucky to not end up with a yellow card from that one for my Samoa. Like they've just said, the referee can hear from his TMO and whatnot if they feel that it could be something a little bit more than just the penalty offence. Doesn't look like the referee's too keen on upgrading it though for my Samoa. Oh, okay, no, they're gonna go to the TMO. This could be quite dangerous. Find out whether or not my Samoa will be finding himself going to the bin for the 2 minutes, or maybe even missing for the rest of this game. So it looks like shoulder goes into the chin of David Still. There is direct contact to the head. The player that's being tackled was falling. I believe it's going to be a yellow card for my Samoa here, which is the last thing the Fijians would have been wanting at this point. And I should mention, whoever loses this match, that's them done for Vancouver. No more matches for that side. Fiji, to make sure that they get this last 90 seconds in the first half right. And you say those Fijian names very nicely, Hamish. You also do South African names well. There's Roof in there as well. I've spent a lot of time trying to practice some of those names. And it's quite funny how it's Fuala'au, whose name doesn't roll off my tongue. He's one of the USA players. It's actually the one who I struggle to say the most out of everyone out on the field. That is going to be Fuala'au with the ball. 10 meters out from the Fijian line, the line out. About to come in here. They've thrown it into the back. Nicely taken by Cummings. Back across to the try-scoring number 7. Now wide ball. One more to David Still. This should be in the corner. Bukiaro tries to muscle up with him, but still gets in. That'll be the second try of the match now for the USA. And watch your Hamish. Says Darren, welcome in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Yellow says Esther. And also, come on, Fiji, says Viniana. And do USA, or go USA, do it for your supporters. Says at the net in there as well. David Still down the wing over the top of Bukayaro. It was always going to be a mismatch in terms of size. Drop the shoulder a little bit there, David Still. A bit of aggression from the USA winger. And that is something that the USA at times in their 7 side possibly do need. Just a little bit more fight in them. That one's going to be an unsuccessful conversion. 10 seconds left of the first half. USA leading 12 points to 7. Also, I think a close match. What's your score prediction, says Ruth? I'm thinking close match too. Probably decided by less than 7. But if the second half goes anything like the game between Great Britain and Fiji went, I think we're going to see the Fijians fire back in the second 7 minutes of the game once they are back to 7 men. Nathungu passes across now. I believe that is going to be Tavita Dalgunu. Nice wide pass. Great bump off there from Fiji down the wing. David still, he thought he was invincible after that last try, and he's been bumped off by one of the, I guess you could call them average size Fijian players. Buffy Thuringa. Don't get me wrong, he's still a unit of an individual, but compared to Still, he has got slight disadvantage in the height. But Josesi Thuringa scores the try, just bumps off David Still, who led with his shoulder, so it was his own fault, unfortunately. Like they said, back to his NFL days, trying to do the big old smash shots. Well, USA has put it on a match, and USA fast forward, says the roof there. And I was like, yes, Fiji, says Viniana. So now, with that kick successful, Fiji will go into halftime 14 points to 12, not 15, as the scoreboard is. And Powell, well, one try, then counter try. Amazing stuff, says Ruth. Yeah, 14 points to 12. Certainly not enough to split these two sides. And I think we're going to see some more tries in the second half. Unlikely, but anyone wondering, our next live stream will be at 11:10 a.m. New Zealand time. That will be the matchup between Ireland and Argentina. That should be a great game between the Irish and Los Pumas. And then after that, I believe the next game will either be South Africa versus Japan, or we have got Samoa versus Kenya as the next matchup after that one. But I believe across the board today, maximum, we've got another 6 live streams or 7 live streams. But more than likely, it will be a couple less than that. More Vitimore, says Viniana. Mike Friday trying to fire up his side here. I mean, working well. They had a couple good moments, but this first half has been extremely even across the board. We've seen 5 missed tackles from Fiji, 3 missed tackles from the USA, so that has created the line break opportunities. The sides actually both having 2. Now the USA, they've still got the super subs of Perry Baker, Kevin Williams, and also Marcus Tupuola. Whereas for the Fijians, they've got Jerry Tuwai, Joshua Vakunarabeli. And his scoreboard is wrong. Kiwi says Kips has adjusted itself now. It's just an automatic online scoreboard. But we did call it out as soon as it had 15 up there, which wasn't the correct score. They got Norani Valu, who will be coming off the bench as well. And also the youngster Rasaku could have quite the impact of Fiji. Very close match. What do you think? Can Fiji win this, says Koning? I believe so, although I thought that they'd have to fight back from being down at halftime. I did say that I thought they might be able to have a decent second 7. Now that they lead, though, it might be a bit of a different story. Maybe they need USA to score, and then they'll start flying forward again. That's going to be overcooked for the kickoff, but it has still dropped inside of the 22. Esdale cleans it up. David Still trying to step his way through the tackle attempt. There's a knock on in the process from the Fijian number 16, which they have actually made a sub already, Norani Valu, making his way out onto the park. If Carlin Isles was there, it would be over for Fiji, says Esther. Yeah, it's weird that he isn't. I'm not too sure what's going on there because he hasn't been there for the past about maybe 8 or 9 sevens leagues. So I don't know if there's some sort of injury or whether maybe he's playing for a different side in rugby union in the USA or something's there, but it hasn't been a part of the USA setup for quite some time now, Carlin Isles, which is a shame because him and Perry Baker were a dynamic duo because they both had such speed and having them both rotating. So when you didn't have one of them on the field, you had the other. It looks like they've said that it's gone backwards originally and then now found itself going forward. Nice tackle from Ioane Teba. USA still inside of their own 22. Salad a dummy there. Knock on from Cummings, and they'll go back for the scrum. And please, Carlin Isles is overrated, says Mus. And Fiji should do it, says Roof there. And I feel like Los Pumas are to be too much power for the opposition. Argentina always prowling danger team, says Roof. A mistake there from Aaron Cummings. Knocks the ball on my son Mo, was absolutely flying through. Try and make the tackle on the USA number 12, or number 10, in fact, Talapusi. near the Fijians, talking to each other in the front row. I'm pretty sure the gist of that would have been we're going to absolutely drive this USA forward pack backwards here. Fiji should do it. There's Ruth. Now there's going to be 5 back into the pocket. Back across to the left-hand side. My Samoa decides to sell the dummy and go himself. Nice fend, break of the tackle. Offload to Ioane Teba, who's knocked the ball on the ground. Unfortunately, tripped over his own teammate in the process. Also, my Samoa works hard in defense, says Musa. He just works hard, full stop. He's always moving, which I think is very admirable for him. Like, even when Fiji are losing, he's one of the players who you notice just everywhere. And certainly a side that if they have more of these players like my Samoa joining in the future, they're going to find a lot of success. And they need so much energy in the short game, says Roof. That is why anytime you talk to a rugby union player who's played sevens, they say that their fitness just went through the roof when they were playing sevens. Like, it's extremely good for you in terms of the cardiovascular side of things. A nice offload. Currently still getting slightly driven backwards there to a pussy. Goes back across now to Perry Baker, trying to find a gap. Great step, but wrestled down low. Now, Thomasine, Talapusi on the outside again. Looked like almost a 4 pass to Aaron Cummings. Going down the wing. Nice work from him, though, until he knocked the ball on for a second time, actually. Now Fiji decide against the offload. They will go back for the scrum. And my Samoa leads and try assists, says Moose there. And that's pretty understandable, isn't it, when you see how much effort he puts in out on the park. Right, time is off at the moment. Looks like there might be some sort of knee tape going on one of the Fijians. Of course, playing on AstroTurf is not a lot of fun for some of these boys who are used to getting to slide around all over the place without getting artificial grass burn, is what you kind of call it. It's really hard to explain what it's like playing on AstroTurf, because the only example that we've really got here in New Zealand is playing on an artificial cricket pitch, which is pretty much just it's fibrous plastic grass, I guess you'd call it, that is supposed to be made as if it was grass so that it feels like you're landing on grass, but it just doesn't. It just cuts your skin up. That's why you'll see so many players with that kind of tape on the knees, the elbows, to try and stop them getting those grass burns. It's normally around the ankles that it's the worst when you start sliding. Like, these players, it's lucky they've got long socks on, but even so, probably have a few grazes underneath. Nice inside ball from Nathungu. Goes to my Samoa. Once again, wrestled down on the halfway line to Vera Dalgunu. Going back across this time, Joshua Vakarabili finds the offload. Another flick out the back to Ioane Teba. Thought about offloading to Nathungu. It was an extremely flat pass on the inside to Dalgunu. Getting held up at the moment. Managed to get the ball backwards. Nathungu gets it free. Only 3 minutes left in this contest. Another step. My Samoa risky offload to Bukayaro, who did actually drop that one, and it's actually become a penalty in favour of the USA. Thomasine takes the quick tap. Diamore, one of his first touches of the match, and he's actually been out there for the full time out there on the park. First 10 minutes of this fixture, dragged down now 22 metres out. It's looking good for the USA. They're in a very good attacking position at the moment now, going wide. Nice step from Channel. Goes to Perry Baker. One more offload, not quite successful, but they managed to pick it back up. It's a 3-on-1, and he's decided to ignore his old backline there. I don't know who that was. That was Cody Melfi. It reminds me of what happened for the Argentines, the very young player who almost blew it for the side, but that's going to be Steve Thomasine getting the inside ball. A few of the veterans working together there, and Baker and Thomasine to make sure that little mistake didn't end up costing them there. Come on, Fiji. Samoa, Omani Samoa, Tuolangi is not a Samoan player, but an English player, go figure. Says Moose there. And also, my Samoa is Fijian player, not Samoan lovely. Says Aroof there. But Steve Thomasine scores the try. Fiji now will have to come from behind in the last 100 seconds of this matchup to be able to go through to the 5th place playoff game. And that will be where they will be facing New Zealand if they do win it. Most all-time points. Moment for the USA. We can see there Thomasine sitting on 999. He is all but up to the stage of 1,000. And those grass burns sore. It's amazing how they don't have injuries, hamstrings, etc., knee ligaments, says Roof. Yeah, we saw early on someone was really struggling. That man's wearing budgie smugglers, and the guys in front of him are not looking happy because he is just shaking his butt just behind them. USA seem to have it as long as they don't blow it, says Moose. Below 3 points difference. Fiji don't have to successfully convert a try. They just need to score one. And this side of the Fijians, or in fact, there's 19 points to 17, I believe. I believe the kick was successful. Scoreboard just a little bit off there. So they do actually need to successfully convert. But now on the halfway line, big mistake from the USA not getting it the 10 meters. That was Melfi who got that one wrong. Now Fiji, good opportunity here to score in the last minute of the game. It looks like there's a lot of players, no smiles now. Melfi may not be too liked by his teammates if they don't win this scrum. And Fiji managed to score themselves the try here. All about to be fed in by Filippo Bucayaro. Puts the ball in. Now going off to the right-hand side. Here come the Fijians. Nathungu. Inside ball to Ioane Teba. Lurking around there, Nathungu with him. Now off to the left-hand side. Going to be a bit of a handling error there in the midfield for Fiji. 10 seconds left, so all USA need is in 15 seconds. Get this ball back, kick it out. A great run from Rasaku. Still charging forward. Ball on the inside to Waisia Nathunu. Another offload. Bucayaro goes on the outside to Ioane Teba. Another offload. Fiji just have to keep this ball alive. Aaron Cummings tries to get over the ball. It does go backwards. Now Vakunara Billy breaking off. Offload to Ioane Teba. It's gone over the top. The USA have got the ball back. All they need to do is kick this ball into touch, but they're struggling to pick it up. He's missed the kick. And now Fiji twice have ended up with the ball. The penalty goes the way of Fiji. The USA have butchered that one, and now because of a Fiji, they've got a 3-on-1 on the outside. Ioane Teba scores it. And now it goes to, I believe that's 19-19, but the scoreboard at the moment says USA 17. So we will just quickly have to confirm. I believe it is sitting at 19 points to 19. What a finish. My voice can't handle this on day 3. And I think USA is winning this in the semi-final, says Coding. But twice the USA tried to kick this ball away. So they tried to kick it out. It was an original ear swap from Fola. Then from there, Ioane Teba ended up with the ball after USA missed a second kick. And now Waisia Nathungu, if he gets this kick over, the Fijians win, and they do. Fiji make it through to the next stage. Now, even if it was 21-19, the scoreboard on there says 17 for the USA. But either way, the Fijians win. That kid not getting the 10 meters on kickoff. It's really costly, says Moose. And he had a massive smile on his face, as if to say, whoopsie, what can you do? Like, that's one where you boot it as far as you can and put it deep into Fiji in possession. But that is going to be now New Zealand versus Fiji is the 5th place playoff game. Quite an interesting finish to this one, that is for sure. But USA getting that ball back, all they had to do, put that ball into touch. They missed the kicking option twice, and Fiji make the USA pay, I should say. Okay, they've just said about. Wait. The scores are tied. The scores are tied. We're having golden point time. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This game is going to continue. They said that the score on the screen was wrong. We got that right about the USA having the wrong points. They were actually on 19. Fiji missed the kick, so we're actually going to golden points. So anyone who thought this game was over, I apologize big time. The scoreboard, not only did they get one side wrong, but they got the other side wrong too. And what time is the Hamish Fiji versus New Zealand? Well, now Viniana, not confirmed just yet, sorry. And then he says nasal. What a heartbreak for the USA, although they've got another chance. Not over yet. Makes the score tied at the moment. Now, the scoreboard operator is high, says Moose. I think that's the best way of describing it because this one's wrong and the scoreboard at the ground is wrong as well, but it's wrong for a different reason. So the scoreboard at the ground had it 21 points to Fiji, 17 to the USA. The actual score at the moment is 19-19, so they haven't won as of yet. And we have got there, okay, so scoreboard is wrong, exactly right. So it is going to be now kicked off for extra time. Once again, do apologize for anyone who thought that this one was over. I think quite a few people would have been leaving, looking forward to Fiji playing in the next stage. So there's a part of me that really hopes Fiji win now because of people who have left who think Fiji are through. And now USA take that one on their own 22, going short side. Nice offload on the inside for the USA. Thomasine goes back across. Now, the young number 16, Channel. Big fend in the face of Nathunu. That's a risky thing to do because there's probably a big hit coming relatively soon for him. Perry Baker goes across. Now, this is just first point on the board wins. Doesn't even matter if it's a drop kick or if it's a penalty out in front. Cummings now with the step for the USA. Driving well, 35 metres out from the line now. Wide pass. Out now to Diamore. In fact, it's Marcus Tupuola this time. Now Cummings. Big rush defence there from the Fijians. Perry Baker, the experienced veteran, goes on the outside. Nice stepping here from Talapusi. Taken down there, and the penalty will go the way of the USA. They could have a drop kick attempt here, but it is quite near the touchline, so I don't think it will be too easy. And goodness, what USA get a lifeline? They certainly do. We are at extra time for this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. The USA, looks like Steve Thomasine running over. Is he going to take on? Oh, okay, they're taking on the line. I thought he was going to take on a shot at the goal. Was it unconverted try from Fiji? I believe so. They never actually showed us the kick, though, which made it that much more confusing. So I just took their word for it. I assumed that the kick had gone over, but apparently it had not. It didn't make the score 19-19, but USA Eagles now 10 metres out from the line here. And it's thrown in. Wasn't hugely straight. That's going to be another advantage for the USA. Taking the quick tap here. Now Melfi goes off to the left-hand side. Rush defence from the Fijian defenders. Wide cutout pass. Perry Baker in the corner for the USA. And that will be the try, and they will be the team making their way through to the next stage. The scoreboard was wrong initially, and now the USA knock the Fijians out of the competition. That now means Fiji have no more matches in this Sevens competition. They will finish in 7th/8th, so I believe they get that certain number of points on the World Sevens Circuit scoreboard. And Lol Dam says, Moose, yeah, quite an unorthodox finish to this match. Rugby is a funny game. USA unbelievable, says Ruth. And there as well. Yeah, good try for Perry Baker. How many? I feel like we had about 15 people leave when I said Fiji have gone through to the semi-final. How do I break it to those people that when I set up the live stream and it's New Zealand versus USA and New Zealand win the 5th place, says Moose, and Vanaka Mistamish for the commentary, says Viniana. Well, it will certainly be an interesting 5th place playoff game because at the end of the day, New Zealand beat the USA 52 points to nil in their first match. So now they kind of have that opportunity of redemption. It should be quite interesting to see how it does end up going. And thanks so much, says Roof. Vanaka Mistamish says Viniana. So yeah, it will be the USA making their way through to the next stage in the competition. That will be up against New Zealand for the 5th place playoff final, and that will be taking place at 12:40 New Zealand time. We have also got a matchup taking place a little bit sooner, which is going to be the Samoa versus Kenya game. That is at 12:20, and also 11:10. We are covering Argentina taking on the Irish. We may even have South Africa versus Japan thrown in there as well for good measure, depending on how it goes. But I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you all for the next one.